What's going on, guys? So I'm going to be going over my goals on what I want to achieve in this physical realm, in this human game, in this human experience. And so I'm going to go over the 30 things that we're going to be talking about, 30 things that I'm going to be focusing on, so I could be able to master before I leave this physical realm. And these 3 things everyone knows. Now, I have certain accomplishment in certain aspects on what I'm about to say, and there's certain things that I do not have no accomplishment in, or things that I have never went all the way into. So that being said, I'm going to read a little script or a passage or a paragraph, a thing, so I could be able to explain what my goals are. This is a yogi, and a yogi is pretty much accomplished spiritual being in every aspect, not just spiritually, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Okay? Obviously, there's another meaning to yogi, but just for now, I'm going to stick with that. So, they ask his yogi, what is the gift of his right life? What is the gift of accomplished in right life? He says it is very, very simple. To carry the body, the intellect, the mind, and the soul to perfection. He said that every living being must reach this goal to become 100% free. Because men, being the crown of all living beings, not animals, not birds, not plants, we are the most evolved species in this physical realm. And we're the only ones that can achieve this. How do we achieve this? It says, by practicing these 3 disciplines: physically, mentally, and spiritually. First one, physical discipline. It takes the seeker's body and intellect to perfection by making his body healthy, at the same time restricting himself to only be doing his chosen duty, and never straying into useless and harmful activities, and never straying and making his life successful and wealthy. He becomes happy and lives his life as a king. But he cannot achieve the highest, which is God. So that's the first one. Physical realm. Physical discipline. We have the mental discipline. This discipline tames his mind, as a result of which it comes to possess the commanding and controlling powers over his senses and their objects. He becomes free from his likings and dislikings. He does not stray into speculation and unlawful desires and actions. In this way, he becomes happy and an accomplished yogi with full of occult powers. But still, he's short of God, which with his death, all his accomplishments disappear. Spiritual discipline. The last discipline enables him to acquire divine qualities. His soul, bereft of his letting go of his identification with his body, his intellect and mind. His false I, the cage in which he is imprisoned till then. After this, he comes to know his real I, the God, the Father, bestows him his grace, which makes him fit enough to fly to his kingdom, his birthplace, his birthright, his goal. He becomes the greatest of them all. He becomes omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, eternally blissful and immortal. So the person that said this was called Shiva Puru Baba. I might be saying the first name wrong. It implores every man to achieve this, recommending the practice of the 3 disciplines simultaneously, not disassociated. In the beginning, the first 2 will be prominent, which is the physical and mental. At the end, the third becomes predominant, which is spiritual. So just a little background of my exploration. I am 19 years old, but for 4 years and 5 years, I got very deep into spirituality, which is spiritual discipline. And I had to be able to understand my emotions, what causes my emotions, acknowledge my emotions, and to let go of my emotions. Then I got into the aspect of letting go of the I, the ego, of who you think you are, and realizing who you are. Now, I ended up skipping, in a way, the physical, and the mental. And when I say skipping it, doesn't mean that I'm not living it. I'm not going to perfection, to physical, mental, and even spiritual. So, to be able to, for me to go and master all these 3, I'm going to have to start from the beginning. Have my physical discipline, my mental discipline, and my spiritual discipline. So, that being said, that is the goal. I'm going to post this as my first video. And we're going to go where we are, where the start in the beginning is at. Being successful and wealthy. Having a healthy body. Controlling my mind to its fullest. Having a very high intellect to perfection. And also getting even more depth with spirituality. So that being said, let's make it happen. 1%. Day 1.